Sports fans, huddle up. The Euro 2024 competition has kicked off, and one of my favorite tournaments of the year, by the way. I'm blown away by the negative fallout from one of the teams that I think is up there at the top of the level for this competition, Netherlands. Netherlands played Poland yesterday, and I can't believe how negative the analysts are being about this team, and I think they're totally sleeping on them. I'm going to tell you why in this video. I'm going to tell you why those Fox Sports analysts, especially in the post-game, are sleeping on this team, and also why they're wrong. If you're new here, I'm Nate, and we are talking the biggest news in sports. This is the Daily Huddle with Ben, Aaron, and Nate. Get subbed up to this channel so you don't miss out on all the biggest news in sports. Well, yesterday, Holland took on Poland, as I mentioned, in Euro 2024. And of course, in their group is the big one. It's France. And of course, you've got France. You have Italy. Maybe. We'll see. You know, they've managed to pull it off in the past. You have Spain, of course, a big name team. And then there's this huge fallout. Now, a lot of other teams are just kind of pushed aside. And the Netherlands is the one that surprises me the most. This is a beast of a group, by the way. They have Austria as well. This is a beast of a group. It's a tough group for sure. And the Netherlands have been missing that historic form that we are used to seeing with them, or maybe used to be used to seeing. And now it's been a long time since they've had that kind of form. By the way, if you can't tell, got the orange background up today for the Netherlands. They're not my team or anything, but man, I do love some historic games from them. And one of my favorite all-time Liverpool players was not the best player from the Netherlands. It was Dirk Kuyt, but he was a great player, and he was the Energizer Bunny. That dude would just run nonstop all day, every day, and I loved that guy's energy. I always called him the Energizer Bunny because of that. But they remind me at times right now, in recent memory, of a Belgium, a team that underperforms based on the talent they have on the team. And no, Belgium, that was a different level of embarrassment of riches that they completely squandered. But this Netherlands team has some big name players. I'll just go over it for you in case you're not a diehard soccer fan like myself. The game itself, okay, let's get into the game. Netherlands get absolutely destroyed by the analysts in this 2-1 win. They have the best chances. Poland, of course, are without Lewandowski, and that's something to be said. It's got to be out there. I mean, what is Poland without Lewandowski? And he's obviously going to be gone someday. I mean, he's not that far away from retirement now, so this is a reality they have to get used to. And they played pretty well considering they didn't have their #1 best ever Polish player in the history of the world. One of the best players ever. Probably if he plays in the right league, no offense to the Bundesliga, but you know, if you're not playing on Real Madrid, or if you're not playing for Barcelona, or you're not playing in England, you just don't get the recognition that you deserve. Sometimes I feel like at times he's been the best in the world for chunks of time, and he gets snubbed, I think, in the Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo conversation because it's so polarizing. But I'm getting off course here. In the game, all right, Netherlands have the best chances. They have a pretty decent front three in Memphis, Depay, Cody Gakpo, of course. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I love Cody Gakpo. And they give up a goal in the 15th in a set piece. And this is exactly how Poland would have written it up. This is exactly how they would have written it up. Knowing they're going to the game without Lewandowski, what do? You say, we're gonna be really structured. We're going to maintain possession when we have the ball, and we're going to take advantage of set pieces. And they did. A corner kick, near post run, all the way. I mean, just a perfect header, perfect ball. It was a great goal. But obviously, you're not going to get those types of goals from open play and without your star guy, especially. And Poland didn't look too threatening, in my opinion, in front of goal from open play. Despite not being a perfect, well-oiled machine, I think the Netherlands had the better chances, had more chances, and I don't get all of the hate, all right? Now, Wout Weghorst, #9, super sub, sitting on the bench. He scored 7 of his last 9 games for Netherlands from the bench. So, super sub extraordinaire. Everybody loves the super sub story. I mean, the super sub stories are the best. I love the super sub stories. He gets the game winner, and Netherlands get the 3 points. okay, in kind of the final section of the game, all right, the final moments. And the analysts are absolutely hating. They didn't feel like the Netherlands played well. They felt like Poland were hard done by, not getting a point. And they're sleeping on the Netherlands team. They're sleeping on them, saying, how are they going to do against France? Oh, if this team shows up against France, whoo! And I get it. They're not going to go out there and put a 3-0 up against France or something. I do think that they're going to have a hard time. But are you kidding? This is still a very stout team. And although not perfectly organized, this is what happens in international football. This is how it goes. This is the way that it goes. The group stage has one goal, and all it is get your feet in real competition, get your feet on the grass, and make sure that your team can start to find a rhythm. That's all you're doing. It's this tournament play, all right? So I don't understand why the hate is so strong for them. This makes sense to me. It's okay to have a couple bad games. The most recent tournament win for France, that's exactly how it started off for them. This is just so normal. It's part of tournament play. I don't look at it and think, I don't freak out when I see a team not play super well. These guys don't play together on a regular basis. You know, if you go back to like when Spain was incredibly dominant playing tiki-taka football, and every single one of their players played for Real Madrid or Barcelona, these guys are playing together, half of them, all the time, and then they play against each other and in the same league. They're playing the same style of football. I mean, it just is an easy transition. These guys who play for these other teams that are like a step below that, right? Where their players they're playing in England, they're playing in France, they're playing in Germany. They're in different situations completely. England is way more physical, all of that. So I don't know. I think that was overdone by far. Then another reason why, okay? They probably, because of the 1-1, it was tied up until the final stages of the game. And I understand that argument. I don't like it, but I understand it. You know, Poland's going to feel like they've done really well to be at 1-1 in the final stages of the game, and then they lose it. You're like, oh, Poland, I feel bad. They should have won. But let's not forget, Memphis Depay has this amazing opportunity. He should have finished. He had two actually really good opportunities, but one at the closing stages of the first half that if he finishes that, they go in at half up 2-1. And I just don't like when they put that kind of stuff out there, forget about it, right? Another reason why they're probably, really down on this team is because they're expecting the Netherlands to be the second place darling of this group, and they're not playing at the level that they're expecting from them. And to that, I would just remind you, it is a group stage first game of the actual tournament. This happens all the time. The first game is always a little rough. You're going to have, every once in a while, you have a mismatch where one team is like, just well-oiled machine and they're perfect. But international football is a tricky thing, especially in tournament situations like this. So why are they wrong? Let me tell you why they're wrong. I've already kind of told you why I think they're wrong. But firstly, this is what group stage is all about. Secondly, Netherlands defense is up there with the best in the world. I mean, look at this team, guys. This is a quality team, right? Just to go through real quick, right? De Ligt, Van Dijk, Ake, De Vries. I mean, these are all defenders. This is a really stout defense. And even Daily Blind, who, like, I can't stand him. I hate Manchester United, so it's easy to not like a lot of these guys. But even him, like, he's a solid player. He's a solid guy. And then, of course, Liverpool fan, Genie Wano, dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. Who else? Gravenberg. Yeah, Depay. I already talked about him. Cody Gakpo. I mean, there are some beast players on this team, and people are totally sleeping on them. I can't believe it. And of course, Wout Weghorst, who's sitting on the bench, who's their number 9, and he's sitting on the bench. I'm amazed at how the embarrassment of riches this team does actually have. That's kind of sneaky good, that people are just totally missing out on them. Totally just missing the whole perspective on them. Netherlands have an incredible weapon sitting on the bench, and don't sleep on Cody Gakpo, who does get the goal, by the way. Let's remember that. Granted, yes, it was a deflected goal, but it was on target, low corner, and it deflects right. It could have been a goal either way. We'll never know, obviously, what would have happened in that world. So, hey, listen, if you love sports, and let me know in the comments, by the way, how you think the Netherlands are going to do in this tournament. I have them going really far. I think they're doing really, really well. You also have to remember that the third place team, several third place teams, I think it's 4 of them, are going into the next round. So, you're going to see the likes of teams like Croatia, who are probably aging, right, who are probably going to sneak in as a third place team. And even if the Netherlands have a rough go at it against France and a little bit of a rough go against Austria for some reason, they're still, I think they're easily, I think Poland gets through as a third place team. That's honestly how I feel. I think Poland's a pretty good team, has been a pretty good team. They play very similar styles to one another, and they come together, and they're decently well composed, in my opinion. But let me know what you think. And sports fanatics, make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss out on all the fun. Thanks for being here. This is the Daily Huddle. I'll see you next time.